is HW, and thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. My friends, it is time to take a look at the full OC stomp from Kemper. Last video, we looked at the Kemper drive, and so many variations in there. That is my favorite Kemper drive until I turn this one on, because then this one becomes my favorite Kemper drive, and I can't decide. Now, in case you were unaware, the Kemper full OC seeks to capture the sound of this little guy right here. That's the full tone OCD. And fun fact, this was my #1 drive for like 4 to 5 years, so I know this pedal really well, and it really does feel like it. Also, there's a little video, #1 video, or the most viewed video on the Tone Junkie YouTube channel is actually a video called The History of the OCD. And it's, I talk about how the OCD was made, and then I compare like 8 different versions of the OCD that have been around over the years. It's a completely stupid video, and since it's a total junkie thing to do. It's very cool though. You can check that out. I love this thing. I love having it in the Kemper now, and I feel right at home. So let's take a look at the settings we've got here. We've got drive, we've got tone, we've got mix, and we've got volume. You know what all those do. I don't need to tell you what all those do, but what I want to bring your attention to, HP. Hit it, you get LP. Now, what do those stand for? Well, they're sort of purposefully vague, I think, on the original inspiration here, but they refer to peak, high peak and low peak. So high peak is the peak in the mid-range, which is more like a Marshall Plexi, so a higher mids, British kind of sound. And then low peak is more like a Fender Bassman or a Tweed style breakup. So to hear those, you heard the high peak at the beginning. I'll play that again for you. I've got everything at 5, drive at 5, tone at 5, mix at 100, volumes at 0, or what is unity. And it sounds like this. Beautiful. Now I'm going to hit that LP and listen to the difference. Again, back to high peak. You can hear, one more time, low peak. It almost gives the impression that the tone has changed in some way, and that kind of is, relevant, because one of the things that sort of the Marshall-y sound has, which is different than the Tweed sound, the Tweed sound sort of gives birth to the Marshall sound. It's really this difference. If you've ever had a Plexi, I would put it like this: the presence knob completely makes the thing usable, meaning on a Plexi, when you have the normal channel by itself, it's so completely dark you need to turn the presence all the way up just to make it sound usable. And then inverse, when you're on just the bright channel of a Plexi, or channel 1, you need to bring that presence all the way down to make it usable. When you go jumper, you get like somewhere in between. But then you have this treble control that is really high treble, and it's almost like this. The mids on a Plexi are kind of like, it's a very high mid control. It's not controlling this low girthy thing, not at all. That's really not controllable on a Plexi, how much girth there is. It's this high mids, treble-y kind of thing, but the treble's even higher. It's just, the whole Plexi EQ is just sort of weird. But that's really what this thing sounds like. It sounds like we turned up the mid control on that plexi, and it does give this sensation that you've gotten brighter somehow. Now, I used to use my OCD like this. I used to turn it down a little bit, and I loved how touch sensitive it was. But you're gonna find something with this, with the HP kind of thing, which is how I like to play it. The drive, even down at 3, it just always sounds like a loud amp. It might not be dirty, but it always sounds loud. It just always sounds like sort of a screamy Marshall thing. Now, I used to really try to clean it up and really get this sort of thing going. I don't know, I was pretty into that for a while, and I just loved that sort of loud, broken up kind of thing. It just sounds like a hot amp, but it stays clean in some way. And then, of course, on the bridge, it still is pretty rockin'. I never have understood how it does it in the real world, but they've captured it here. The OCD just always sounds like a loud, fat plexi to me. And then on the, I never liked the LP as much, but it does, I get what it's doing, you know? It's totally doing that. You can almost roll the tone up a little bit. Now, to me, there's other things that kind of do that same thing. I like that tone, don't get me wrong, but there's just this weird hugeness of the HP. It just always sounds enormous. Now, I'm gonna ride the gain all the way just to like 7 or something, and it gives you this sort of thing. Okay, so here's how I think I would use the full OC. I would bring the drive down to like 3. I know this is a little low, but just bear with me here. I'd leave the tone at right about 5 there, so just bringing the drive lower to 3. And then here's what I'd do. I'd have my clean sound, and it would sound like this. Turn on that full OC. That's a cool tone. I really enjoy the tone. And then I would turn on this like a Klon right here. Now what do I got? It's the Kemper drive at 5, 5.1 on the drive, 5 on the tone, 5.5 on the definition, and I've got it at 5.9 on the slim down. And to me, that's really close to Klon 1. But I just roll the slim down a little bit because I want a little bit of fullness. for my boost, so we'll leave that at 5.5. And now I've got all those on. You can see I've got both distortion blocks on right there. And now we've got the clon. It sounds like this. That super mid-rangey sound, which is cool, which comes in with the sort of clonny thing, pushing like a drive like the OCD. Then when you use your pick, anyway, that was my lead sound for a long time, and a clon or an 808 into a full OC like this, and I really love it. I think these drives are great, man. I'm really on like a kick here where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I could just pull up a clean profile and play it. I've tried with like a Voxy amp, like the not really a Voxy amp, but the Divide Junior. On the EL84 setting, kind of just like a low power thing, but not quite Voxy, but gets in that territory a little bit. And they were just sounding great, dude. Like, I also think running that clon into like a big plexi is really great, like the purple plexi or the 70s Mars pack the Tone Junkie did. You know, lots of Marshall things out there. You know, choose your flavor, whatever you got in your Kemper, try that. And there's just so many good things here, but I just think this OCD, this full OC just sounds. My gosh, what is that? It's just the drive on 3. See, it's weird. See, I swear every time I pull it up, it just sounds so good. I don't know how they can make these better. The only thing I could think that would make these better, it would be cool if you could page over and then you got a duplicate EQ, just like we get in the amplifier section, just so you can have additional control if you want to add just more mids without lowering the definition or trying to dial that in, or you know, could we get the slim down to do its thing, but then also add some bass back? I just have no idea. You know, it's just this EQ is so musical. That could be a really good idea. I'm going to shoot an email off to them and suggest that maybe we get that in a future update. Honestly, I'd love to see this bass middle treble presence EQ. It's so musical. I wish it were on every block of all the drives, even the old drives. I always thought the stuff that Tone Junkie's done with combining, you know, an EQ and the old green screen to make like a transparent drive and something like a Klon and something like a King of Tone. Now we've got those sounds more nailed, but I would still love to have, you know, maybe just some EQ there, because it's so musical and it would just be more flexibility. Maybe some people feel like that would be too much. It would be too confusing. To me, you just put it on the last page and then don't touch it if you don't want to. Zero on the dial is neutral, but I'd love to see it. But hey, what the heck do I know? I'm only the guy responsible for the full OC being in the Kemper. Just kidding. I'm so glad it's here though. Kemper Drive, full OC. Man, we are getting spoiled. This little green box keeps getting better. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And I mean, what a time to be alive. You can cram all these vintage sounds and amps into it. And now we got even more pedals. And hopefully, hey, hopefully there's even more coming. Maybe new whatever. New mods, new... I just have no idea. Maybe no more drives. Who knows? Some fuzzes. That could be cool. Some new fuzzes. That could be very cool. I don't know. Gosh, they really got wahs covered, delays, verbs. I'm completely happy with those. I don't know. Maybe they could do some weird mods or something. But I don't really know what else to put in here. They could get a couple more. I mean, I'll make some presets, you know, for, hey, here's how I get the sound of this pedal or that pedal. But so much of the bones are just right there. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to do. Maybe they'll put this thing in a different box and, you know, I don't know, do whatever. I mean, honestly, these drives are so good. They could just sell a little Kemper drive box. And, I mean, that would be sweet. I mean, this already does all of it, so I'm not sure I'd need one. And it's already in the stage. But, okay, I'm just thinking out loud here. I hope you enjoy the full OC. I'm loving it. The Kemper Drive, it's awesome. Thanks so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. My name's been HW. Thanks so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. HW.